from foreign policy and NATO to the climate and protecting the bureaucracy.
And then you've got California's car salesman, Gavin Newsom, declaring his state is, quote, ready to fight, calling for an emergency session of the state's legislature to, quote, protect against any unlawful actions by the incoming Trump administration. And apologies to actual car salesmen.
Yeah, but something tells us they're not going to be able to get in Trump's way this time around.
He's told us exactly what he's going to do. We know that so many of those policies, whether it be the border, even some of the things on energy exploration and others, can be put back in place with a simple signature on an executive order. Get those going literally on day one. So that might not be at 12:01 p.m. when he actually starts signing them. Maybe it's at 12:05 p.m. But he is going to move quick. He's going to move fast. The deep state and the insiders in Washington did everything they could to try to stop President Trump. But there was a rejection of that. There was, frankly, a rejection of the weaponization of the justice system. There was a rejection of some of the same antics that we saw during the first term, where people in government, and quite frankly, those some kind of government adjacent, as they tried to stop President Trump into what he was doing, were ready for it this time. President Trump is ready for it.
Joining us now to discuss, Senator from the great state of Alabama, Coach Tommy Tuberville. Coach, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. I want to drill into this a little more. Again, you're going to have Donald Trump in the new administration, a Republican Senate, congratulations, by the way, maybe a Republican House, up against the deep state. Do you think Donald Trump is going to be able to overcome all of those inside bureaucrats who are very liberal, push him back on what the American voters said they wanted? A majority of the American vote actually voted for Trump and the ideas. How do you see this playing out?
Well, can you spell sabotage, Sean?
Yeah.
It's coming. They cannot stand this country the way it is. They're globalists. They're socialists. They're going to throw a grenade in the Treasury Department, and when they leave, they want inflation as high as possible, open up the floodgates even more down at the border. They're going to do everything they can to sabotage this country. President Trump's ready. He understands it. He's putting a good team together, not a good team, a great team, and he knows what he's got in front of him. He can't waste a day. We're not going to have a chance to waste a day, but I wish they would go on vacation, Christmas vacation, for the next 74 days. Just leave it like it is, and President Trump will pick the ball up from there and run with it and solve a lot of problems.
We mentioned Gavin Newsom out in California and the words that he had to say, but also Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, big old Democrat, literally and figuratively, had a press conference today as well and issued a warning that if anybody tries to, quote, come for my people, they will have to come through me. And he said, to anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of people in Illinois, I'm going to remind you, a happy warrior is still a warrior. What in the name of all that is MAGA is he even talking about? Are they just gum flappers?
Well, Dagan, what you have to remember, when I first got to the Senate about 4 years ago, the first thing that Chuck Schumer did was pass the CARES Act, supposedly for COVID. All that $2 trillion was go to the mayors and the governors of the blue states to pay off their bills because they were dead broke. They do not know how to run a state. They do not know how to run a city. And so they just spend. It's not state money, which it should be. It is federal money. And so now Newsom and all these blue governors are getting ready to find out how to pull up their pants and tie them down good, because it is getting ready to get tight out there, because President Trump is not going to pay them off. He's going to make them live with the things that they have passed and the things that they pushed in their states on the people in their states, and he's not going to pay their bills for them.
So Republicans' massive win 2 nights ago, but the fight's not over, Senator. I think the fight is going to happen now in the Senate. Republicans have the majority. Mitch McConnell is going to be gone, and there's going to be wrangling for who's going to be the next majority leader of the Senate. You have a lot of moderates, and then you have a group of conservatives. How do you see this playing out? What group is going to win the Senate? And again, just for our viewers at home, why is this so important to the Trump agenda? Who becomes the leader?
It's really not that important, Sean, because a leader of the Senate's nothing but a mouthpiece for the rest of us, and they get to step out there and make a statement about what we're trying to do and not what we're trying to do. Just putting out the game plan. But whoever is the leader is going to have to listen to a majority. And we cannot sit back and let some weak leader kind of hold President Trump back. We have got to take the ball and run with it. And we've got to do it quick. We only have a short period of time to fix all this mess that has been put together, not just by Democrats, but also by these neocons and these rhinos that just want to push this agenda down the road. President Trump's got a hard job. We don't need to be a detriment. We need to get out of the way. And if he needs help, we need to help him.
Senator Tommy Tuberville, Coach, thank you so much. And just a reminder, those rhinos led by Mitch McConnell co-signed on to $1.3 trillion in new non-defense spending with the Democrats the first 2 years of Joe Biden's term. So that's what Sean was talking about,
Just to
being real conservative.
To add on to that, they signed that massive spending bill Mitch McConnell did with Democrats before Kevin McCarthy got the gavel in the House. They wanted to push that spending through. I love the coach. I think he's amazing. I love he's run the football. He can't get football out. The problem we have is if you don't have a conservative leader in the House, someone like Rick Scott, you have a moderate, and they will try to thwart a lot of the great things that Donald Trump is going to do. And so, again, there was a clear mandate from the American people, and having a leader of the Senate, which is going to quarterback this thing, having them be in line with America First is so critically important. And I hope they get that right, because that is the real fight we're going to watch: moderates versus conservatives in the Senate.